Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. We've got a couple of great drops coming your way in today's video, and the first one is Conquest Mode on Grim Plexus. I've gone with two of my teammates to secure the Kappa capture point, and when we get there, we're contested with a lone enemy Blackjack. I think he was thinking the same thing, so we're going to focus him down, bringing all of our weapons to bear, sweeping that right leg. Now, he's lost all of his mobility, but we need to take him out of the game and get that firepower of his off the board. So I'm going to push in so that we can wreck him as quickly as possible, removing him from the match altogether. And with the focus fire of my friends, we managed to get the deed done. Now we're going to go see what other shenanigans we can get into on this map. And while we do that, let's talk about the mech that I'm in. I am piloting my Enforcer. It is the Enforcer 4R, a nice 50-tonner. I have it outfitted with a single AC-10 in the right arm, 5 medium lasers spread between the left arm, left torso area. I also want lots of maneuverability in this mech, so I've included jump jets for vertical maneuverability. And yes, you saw right, an XL engine. I know it's kind of risky, especially in a 50-tonner, but it also gives me a great speed of 82.6 kph. Now, this is a very capable mech. Don't let any of that undersell what this mech can do on the battlefield. And one of the things that makes it so capable is it has a very fast rate of fire on that AC-10. Ideally, what I like to do is set up in second line or find a position where I'm going to be less likely to be engaged by the enemy, put that AC-10 to work, and use the fast cyclical rate to rain AC-10 shells on the enemy. This match didn't play out quite like that, and I've pushed up into, well, the high ground with not much cover because I wanted to push the direwolf. I lost sight of him temporarily. He shifted a little more right than what I thought he was going to go, but we've reacquired him. He's very slow to react to us, and while this goes on, I'm just going to keep raining as much damage on him as I can. One of my teammates has joined me in this effort, but he is focusing us pretty good. He's taking turns looking at either one of us. I'm also starting to attract fire from other enemy units from other parts of the board, and that's because if you look at the score, it's already 3-6. We've been losing the trades elsewhere on the battlefield, and that has freed up additional units to focus us, shoot at us, or at the very least to come to the aid of the direwolf, which they are doing. I'm going to try for a slightly different angle. My teammate and I are a little too close. It makes it a little too easy for that direwolf to quickly pivot left and right and focus us with his weapons. So I'm going to go off to the left and try to make that a little more difficult. He's got teammates pushing in, including this dervish, and there's not much going on now except to duke it out with him. He looks like he is really damaged once I get a look at his paper doll. His CT and right torso are open, but unfortunately I ran a little too hot on the heat scale and paid the ultimate price. We finished this drop with not the best drop in the world, but we still managed to rack up 559 damage in a little 50-tonner. Moving over to our next drop, this one has us playing skirmish mode on Crimson Strait, and we're going to see if we can improve upon last drop's performance. Now, one of the things that you might be noticing in this footage is the one thing that I'm not very good at, and that is I don't always get a good grouping with my shots when I'm employing both weapon systems at the same time, the ballistic and the laser. And I'm going to blame it solely on Kentucky windage. What I mean is, I typically find myself leading a shot to account for the travel time for the AC-10, and then I'm firing my laser shot, which is then somewhat off target because it's more of an immediate weapon compared to the ballistics of the AC-10. So it's one of the things I'm still working on. We'll see if we can improve upon that in this drop. Now, it looks like the enemy is set up in Echo 5 quite heavy. There's a couple in the high ground that I'm keeping an eye on, and a teammate has mentioned a charger doing what chargers do, charging. I don't know why he's charging in the water, but he is. So I'm going to shift over here, get some shots on him. His armor is going down very, very fast. He's now open CT, and focus that and get a kill shot, taking out the charger. In the meantime, I'm still keeping an eye on that high ground. I remember seeing something up there before. My teammates are saying they seem to have gone into the tunnel. So I'm going to push forward with another group of my teammates and see if that is definitely the case. And it looks like a direwolf has been left behind to protect the tunnel entrance from us coming up behind him, and that's okay. We are going to go to work and focus this bad boy down. It's going to take, obviously going to take all three of us to focus him down. He's got a lot of armor to chew through. Good thing is he's wounded already, so we can focus him. And in this scenario, this demonstrates what I mentioned in the first drop about taking second line and using that fast cyclical rate on the AC-10 to deliver some punishing damage. Direwolf goes down, and I'm going to stick with my teammates as we push into the tunnel. This is a rough spot to be because it is definitely close quarters with not a lot of room to maneuver, and the enemy is watching the side entrance, a couple of units at least, so we are going to engage them as well. Now the good news is the King Crab is already open CT, and he goes down, but he's got a couple of friends here who are backing him up, including this wounded Vapor Eagle and the Shadow Cat, who pushes out into the tunnel. Not sure why he pushed out like that, but that's okay. We'll get some shots on him, and he wisely ducks back into the side tunnel. He doesn't want any part of this. I keep trying to focus that center torso on the Vapor Eagle. If I can land a couple of good shots, it would put him down. And I hit my jump jets because I didn't want to get into my teammates' laser fire. I didn't want to run in front of him. I know I can't go anywhere in the tunnel. It was just to avoid that damage. We find a Fafnir being harassed by one of our teammates out in the open, and here again, putting that AC-10 to work, just raining some shots into him, softening him up for my teammates to get the kill. Now it's just a question of swinging it around. I'm assuming they're in the Delta 5 area. I see some shots. Yep, there they are. Delta 5 low. So we'll get a couple of shots in on that. And I slid back down over the hill. I actually did not mean to do that, but that's okay. I'm going to go up here on the side. If I can get a nice right peak, I can start putting my AC-10 back to use again and kind of peek around the right side of a building. But there's an UAV, and UAVs must die. UAVs must die quicker than what I'm doing it. So I'm not really good at moving snapshots at the UAVs. Unfortunately, it took me too much time. And here come the enemy. I thought it was one unit. I'm actually engaged with 3 units. The third one is coming still, a Hunchback around the corner, but I've got a Katana Cat and the Shadow Cat. Katana Cat is very fresh still, so I need to be respectful of the Katana Cat. I know what that build can do. Here's the Hunchback that I mentioned, and I shift off of him. At first I thought he was the most dangerous target, but he didn't shoot me with his lasers, so he was either too hot or his lasers were out. And while I'm doing that, the enemy takes me out. So switching over to our end screen, we finish this one out with 1 kill, 6 assists, and 886 damage done.